What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay Sue. Got another episode of Cigars, Cocktails, and Conversation. Got a guest. I can't call him a new guest because he definitely was pretty much my co-host when I first started this out. But he's in town, so it's only right for me to hit my boy up and have him slide through the show. So you go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you do, where you from.
What's up, everybody? Once again, not a new guy here. This ain't my first rodeo. My name is Juice. Everybody calls me that, so that's what you guys can refer to me as. Essentially, I moved away for a little bit. Been gone for about a year now. No longer living in Chicago. It was one of the best and toughest decisions of my life. But
Tell everybody why you left, if you don't mind.
oh, that's fine. That's fine. I could go into that. So essentially, why I left, Chicago has always been home to me. Lived here. I'm 27 years old. Lived here for 25 years. The biggest and the toughest thing about growing up in Chicago is just dealing with just the normality of death. It becomes so routine that you lose people. You see people lose people, and life kind of goes on. That's the case a lot of places, obviously, but it's just really amplified. I feel in Chicago more than other places, and I decided that enough was enough for me. So now I live in Madison, Wisconsin. It's mostly white. But it's a good place. Nice place to live. Food ain't shit, but it's a good place. It's good for me for now. But yeah, that's pretty much my story. So we're gonna get into some good content, hopefully.
Yeah. Before we get there, we're smoking Half Pipe Cigars. Really cool cigar brand. They're half tobacco, half cigar. I just said that completely wrong. It's half pipe tobacco and half cigar tobacco. So they kind of got like a really sweet, cool flavor. Definitely different. And today, have the privilege and the honor to be drinking some John Basil. Shout out to Shoke and the whole family over there. Black-owned tequila brand. I don't really know too many black people that own any liquors, but these gentlemen are from Chicago, and it's a great product. I'm not a tequila drinker, so I'm mixing it with some Rose's lime, but that's our cocktail of choice today. So, did you pour up? You good? You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't know if you said this, but you work in the Justice Department. What's the proper terminology? Social justice.
I'm a police officer.
Okay.
So I'll just come out and say that.
He's a cool cop.
I don't know if no, I'm just kidding. With being a cop and being black and being from Chicago, it's a constant battle. It's an internal battle.
Mm-hmm.
It's conflicting all the time.
Right, because it's almost a contradiction.
Yeah.
Coming from inner city Chicago.
Yeah.
Cops and just naturally from the inception of black people being here.
Yes.
It's just been always tension.
Yeah.
So I guess with that being said, what do you think we can do to change the social injustices in our country as far as policing and
in the country? That's a big.
Well, I guess we can start here in Chicago since you're from here and you had to get away, for your own personal reasons.
I think one of the toughest things to do is kind of pick out one thing to say well, this is going to help the situation here, or this is going to help the situation here. It's a culmination of things that has to happen that haven't happened. One of the major things is just opportunity. The lack thereof for black and brown communities is widespread. When you see it, going to the north side of Chicago and coming to the south side or west side of Chicago, it's a completely different world.
It's night and day.
It's like you go from a place where you can see the money, you can see it. When you walk down the street on the north side, you could see people have access. They have food. They have opportunity. They have education. Mm-hmm. You could see it in the culture, the architecture. But when you come to the south side and you got food deserts in Inglewood, where there's one grocery store and 6
It's more
mile
liquor
radius.
stores and churches than anything,
Yeah.
which is
So it's like
it's nuts.
that. I feel like that's the root of a lot of calls, of a lot of problems that we have here in Chicago. It's just a lack of opportunity. How do we go about providing and giving opportunity to communities that have been absent of these opportunities for since my mother was born?
Right.
I don't know the answer to that question.
So one thing I do know is just a disclaimer. I have a lot of family members and friends who are police, and they're cool. Like, not just saying that to, oh yeah, he's cool. Like, people that put their pants on just like you, listen to the same music, the same things you do when you get off work, they do when they get off work. Mm-hmm. But I do know for a fact, Chicago Police Department, they were trying to hire minorities because, to me, I think the disconnect comes from people that don't understand the culture. I'm gonna just use Inglewood as an example because that's where most of my family is from. Mm-hmm. You have police officers that are stuck in Inglewood that don't know anything about Inglewood or what the people go through that are from there. So automatically they're kind of, tense and on guard. Mm-hmm. So when it's time to interact with the people from Inglewood, it's a disconnect, which makes it, they're butting heads. Yeah. Opposed to if you get some younger, black cops, like I know for a fact CPD tried to do in their defense, with everything going on. Because just think, for instance, you're a black police officer and you get a call to Inglewood, and something that a cop that doesn't know what it's like to grow up in Inglewood might think is something bigger than what it is. Like, for instance, my cousin is a cop and he worked in Inglewood at the time, and I think they got a call about some kids playing basketball in the park, after the park was closed. So, of course, they have to respond to the call. So before he kicked the kids out, he like, hey, we're going to play one game with y'all. So just to let them know, like, man, we cool. I'm the same as you. We just, I'm just a cop.
Forced to do something most of the time you don't even agree with.
Right.
But, and I think that's being on I won't say the other side, but being a police officer, you see okay, well, I'm not here because I was driving around and I'm bored.
Or so you got called to it.
So let me, go out here and mess with these kids. Somebody called. Mm-hmm. I would say 97% of the time, the reason why officers are responding to a situation is because people call. Now, who's calling? Why are they calling for? What are their intentions? What are their motives? It's hard to sort through all of that all the time. Right. Like, I get calls all the time where it's like, well, because everybody's on quarantine and we have parks closing and stuff like that, no congregating and all of that, the stay-at-home order. We just got a lot of calls for service where it was like, people in the park. And it's like, well, yeah, but they're 6 feet apart. So I'll just drive by and be like, all right, they're in the park.
But that's the difference, though. Like, your approach is like, hey, man, you guys aren't supposed to be in the park. Mm-hmm. But, no, come on. Be quiet or take it easy or, mm-hmm. hey, chill out because, they're calling. Mm-hmm. Opposed to, go in the house, what are you doing? Like, it's how you are approached by police because as a black person that's been pulled over for no reason, just being black, I feel like in those situations, if I was hostile, they're automatically going to put their guards up and then it just turns into something uglier. Opposed to me being calm, let them know, like,
But in people's defense, there's been situations where
they're calm and the police just turn up on them.
Yeah.
So that's the disconnect, though, of people not being from a neighborhood or knowing a certain culture, and it turns into something else. Because like I said, but just think this as an example. Mm-hmm. You in Inglewood, you got your beard and your hair, you look like them. So off jump, they're gonna be like, you know what? Let me give this guy a chance because he looks like me. Like, damn, you the ops, but you 12, but
I'm conflicted.
Right, you look like me, so let me at least hear what you got to say before I turn up. And then if you as a cop come off cool, like, hey man, I got a call and I don't want to jump to conclusions, but just tell me what happened. Instead of like, get on the ground, just being mm-hmm. hostile. Mm-hmm. That's how that narrative, I think, could change. Of course, it's always going to be like people in the hood just don't fuck with the cops.
And that's cool too, because I respect that. Everybody has the right to have their opinions and express those opinions and voice those opinions and do so, pretty much almost any way that they deem necessary.
Mm-hmm.
But where I draw the line, or where the disconnect for me comes, is like, all right, when we're violent towards people, we're swearing, and cursing people out. Like we had this one incident, and obviously I don't live in Chicago anymore, but we had an incident in Madison where people were protesting, and that's, like I said, that's their right. When I'm not in uniform, I'm at the protest.
Okay.
So let it be known that I understand that change is not going to come from not just within. It's not going to come from people protesting on the outside. It's going to come from a culmination of things.
People, honestly, it boils down, not to cut you off, to people just doing what's right.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a police officer, whether you're a normal citizen, just do what's right. Half of these situations that we're going through and the reason we're protesting could have been avoided by just doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Whether you're white, black, whatever your race or ethnicity, just doing what's right. So I think to kind of answer my own question, I think just doing what's right, getting people in the law enforcement segment to just, it's hard to just weed out, crazy people or people who have ulterior motives.
Especially on a force like Chicago where there's, 20,000, 30,000 cops?
And then a lot of those people their granddads and great-grandads were cops, so it's lineage.
Yep.
So, but just think, too, how if their grandfather was a cop in the 60s, or grandfather was a cop in the 60s, you know how things were in the 60s,
mm-hmm.
and then they go home and tell stories to their kid, who tells stories to their kid. Racism has started at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's definitely, kind of where it's a disconnect.
Yeah, that's in a
nutshell.
That's a huge thing. Like you said, it starts at home. Fortunately, I can have these conversations with my peers, black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. It doesn't really matter color or creed. But the problem is that I can't have these conversations with my peers' parents, my peers' grandparents. Like that's not my lane. That's not my reality. I don't have that opportunity to do so. So the challenge that I've made to people who identify as allies, and I say identify as because some people say they are and others show that they are.
They're really real.
Right. People say it and people do it. And the people who are doing that, I respect them and I commend them. So for those people, I challenge others to say, have those tough conversations with your parents, mm-hmm. your grandparents, who may or may not be racist. Mm-hmm. And I say that with a grain of salt because I understand that times change and our perceptions of what is deemed acceptable changes. So I don't want to put a 2020 lens on somebody's thoughts on a particular issue from the 60s or the 70s, like that. Mm-hmm. But we all know what's right or wrong. Whether we, 40, whether we 27, whether we 65, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Certain shit should just not happen. And a lot of shit that shouldn't happen still does happen because, like you said, people they don't do what's right.
And then we gotta act a fool and burn shit down and punch people in the face.
I'm not commending that, but I understand it.
I definitely don't commend violence, but we are not our grandparents. I love my grandparents dearly, but we're not turning the other cheek. And like I said, I do not condone violence at all, but unfortunately, I don't understand why it took protesting and all of that for people to get their point across.
It's been a month of protests.
It's nuts.
Protesting is still happening. Today's date is August 2nd.
Yeah, and I think I saw something downtown. They were
last night.
Yeah,
Stadium Jackson.
Last time. Yep.
The protests are still happening. This stuff is still happening. It's going to continue to happen until
something changes.
Until the narrative changes, not only within police departments across the country, but the standard operating procedures change. Mm-hmm. The funding for schools, mm-hmm. infrastructure, mm-hmm. opportunity, in black and brown communities, that stuff has to change. Because otherwise, you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see a $1 billion conglomerate like prisons take over when there should be more infrastructure towards people actually being healed. Like our prison system's a joke.
Being a productive citizen instead of locking them in cages like animals.
Our prison system's a joke.
But it's a cycle by design.
Yes.
We just, as a people, though, have to not fall in the trap. And
Correct.
that's where I kind of have to, kind of just speak up and just say, yes, we are treated very wrong in many aspects, but as a people, we must change the way we act and not put ourselves in position. Although, that's not the case every time.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're, the petty crimes and the violence, we're not making it any better.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I feel that.
Because it's crazy to think about what we're going through now in 2020 is what our grandparents went through in the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents, my dad told me the story the other day. I was with him and two of his friends from high school about when Harold Washington got elected mayor of Chicago. It was a race riot at Curie. That's 1980. I can't remember what 80 what, but that's in the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
A race riot. And I remember when President Obama was elected president. I know you went to Rita and I went to Marion. It was very tense where it was like 2 seconds away from going down at Marion because, people that I thought were cool, damn, that's how you really feel, bro? Because our president is black. We've had one, bro. It's not the end of the world. We have to put up with a lot of bullshit for a long time. So you're going to give us this one and you just have to take his L or you're going to take his hands. And it got to that point where, I got little man syndrome as it is. So I was ready to go.
Yeah, it was definitely, that was a tough time. Just being, what was I, 15, 16 years old?
You weren't even that old because I was a
sophomore?
2008?
Yeah, 2000.
So that was sophomore going into junior year?
Yeah. So, 14, 15 years old, you're talking about...
I was junior, I'm sorry. Going into senior. Because I was at Rita in 2007.
Correct. So you're talking about, just feeling like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You're happy in regards because you're saying well, this should be good. This is, this is good for everyone, right? But then you see the other side of it when you come to school in a predominantly Irish Catholic, predominantly white, affluent. It's granted, I went to school on 79th Street, but
when it was crazy about Rita though, 79th and Western, black people weren't even allowed to go over there when my dad was a kid.
Nope.
That's nuts.
My dad says the same thing. He went to Curie.
Right.
My father's,
Right.
So it's no, we couldn't go over there.
It's a White Castle over there somewhere on Western, and they said they would have to go to one side of it because the other side they weren't allowed.
Yep.
The KKK would march and all of that down.
This
Western.
is in the 80s. This is my
80s.
Our father's generation.
Yes, the people that were born in the 80s are millennials like us.
Mm-hmm.
So put that in perspective.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So it's something to consider. Obviously, this stuff hasn't gone anywhere. It's underground. It's still very much prevalent though. It's still here. So I just want to. Obviously, I feel like that's the major thing is that we don't want to be the Debbie Downers, but at the same time we want to shed a light where there needs to be one shed. And the importance here is stating that, well, while this stuff isn't happening as much, it's still happening. So anytime it does happen, people who aren't involved, people who don't believe in it, we have to stop. We have to step up, say something about it, do something about it. We can't just sit by idly while this stuff.
Oh, that's not happening. Our generation ain't going.
No, of course not.
We're gonna take a little commercial break. My 2-year-old just came downstairs. All right, after our little break.
Hold on. I gotta see what weight are they boxing at? Are they boxing?
Yeah, you can look while we're rolling. Right. So, off camera, I asked him what he thought about Mike Tyson fighting Roy Jones Jr. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we're gonna agree on this. He looked at me like, I don't think so. So, I think Mike Tyson is going to clobber Roy Jones Jr. I've seen him working out lately. Mike Tyson looks like Iron Mike. And Roy Jones Jr., even in his prime, I don't think he can fuck with Mike.
I agree there. That's one thing we do agree on.
But Mike looks like, he looks like he... Okay, I guess we keeping it real. We're in the basement at the crib. So we're going to keep it a buck. Ain't gonna cut it no more. But yeah, so you think Roy Jones Jr. is gonna beat Mike Tyson?
I think that if it goes the distance, it goes the full 8 rounds, I think that Roy Jones is just a more surgical boxer than Tyson. From a speed standpoint, from just charisma, me seeing Roy Jones and how he maneuvers, I don't think Mike's going to be able to lay that Mike Tyson blow on Roy Jones Jr.
If he connects, it's OVA.
I understand that, but there's been plenty of times where Mike has hit people hard. Now I'm not talking about prime Mike. We're not talking about Iron Mike.
But we're also talking Lennox Lewis. We're talking about heavy hitters. Roy Jones Jr., a little dude.
He used to be a little dude.
So did you see what weight they fight?
They're gonna fight heavyweight.
What was Roy Jones fighting in his heyday?
In his prime, he was a middleweight, light heavyweight. So he's
that
like,
boy don't get no chance. He don't got no chance.
I understand what you're saying, but like I said, from a surgical standpoint, if it goes the distance, and it could, it's only 8 rounds. You know, they're both out of shape. So I mean,
no,
three.
They've been training like they.
I hear you.
Mike
Mike
is
55 years old.
Mike like 52, 53, I want to say.
Mike 54 years old.
Is he 54?
Yeah.
Hey,
Roy
man.
Jones 51 years old. They're 50.
The way Mike Tyson. So at first I thought Holyfield and Mike Tyson were fighting because they showed Holyfield working out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, that's going to be a great rematch.
Mm-hmm.
But when they announced Roy Jones Jr. on September 12th, I'm tuning in. Pay-per-view.
I'm definitely
All of
going to
that.
tune in.
You might as well slide back to the crib.
I'm definitely going to tune in. But like I said, I just don't see, I don't foresee.
Bro, Mike look fast, bro.
Everybody looks fast in those highlight videos.
You right.
I've seen Conor McGregor in his highlight. Oh, he got hands.
Big.
Conor McGregor was getting this. That boy out there looking like he fighting against Majin Buu. He taking these. Ha 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 ha. Come on now.
So you got Roy. Are you allowed to gamble? You can gamble, right? You know, I've never really gambled, but I'm definitely willing to bet.
I'm willing to bet.
I bet you a bottle of John Basil.
I'm willing to bet you a bottle of John Basil that
Mike Tyson will win.
If Mike Tyson does win, it's going to happen in the first 3 rounds.
No, I want.
If it goes,
let's go win or loss.
Win or loss. Win or loss.
So you got Roy Jones.
I got Roy Jones.
So Mike Tyson wins. You have to buy me a bottle of John Basil.
You heard it here first. If Mike Tyson wins against Roy Jones Jr., I owe this man a bottle of John Basil, but he's not going to win. Everybody gets hyped up by these publicity videos. And that's
publicity,
what they're designed to do.
I think if Mike Tyson, after his trainer died, took some time off, I don't think he ever would have lost a fight, bro. He didn't start losing until then. He lost that one fight, like Buster Douglas or something like that. But besides that, dude, he only had 6 losses in his whole career, and that was when he kind of lost his mind after his trainer died.
I understand, but
so my whole thing is now I understand they're older, but even a not sharp Mike Tyson, I think would have beat Roy Jones Jr.
Now you're saying anything.
You think so?
I think you're being disrespectful to Roy Jones.
No.
You gotta see it.
No. I watched a lot of Roy Jones Jr. I like the little highlights. Bro, he was cocky with it too, rapping and stuff and dancing and all of that. But Mike Tyson ain't for that, bro. Mike Tyson a different animal.
He is. He's trying to cut the ring off. He's trying to corner you. He's trying to lay haymakers.
But if he does that, it's a wrap, bro. It's only so much. You just said they 50-some years old. Roy Jones Jr. can't run like Floyd. We know that much.
He can't move like Floyd, but like
that's my whole argument, though.
But he don't need to move. Floyd is the best. You're talking about somebody who's the best at defensive maneuvering.
When you say surgical, you saying Roy Jones surgical like Floyd. He was nice like that, but he wasn't Floyd.
Nobody is Floyd. Floyd is undefeated.
I do not like Floyd Mayweather like that, but that man is a brilliant fighter. Brilliant.
Nobody
and I hope
like
he stays
Floyd.
retired so he don't lose. I just want, come on, G, just stay retired so we don't gotta. I don't want to hear no what ifs, no excuses. Just stay retired, bro. You didn't beat everybody. Just leave it at that.
I feel you, but Roy Jones has some good middleweights and light heavyweights under his belt.
But Mike Tyson, his first 10, I think out of 20, I think I looked it up not so long ago. Out of 32 wins or something like that, he has 26 knockouts, bro. He won by knockout, not just knockouts. He won by knockout.
But who was he knocking out though?
Dude, we're really not about to do this.
I mean, he lost to Buster Douglas.
We're really not about to do that.
He lost to Holyfield. He lost to Lennox Lewis. He lost to all the good heavyweights of his time. I'm gonna leave that out.
I give you that, but it was the end of his career and his mind wasn't there. But that's an excuse. So I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's going to be on September 12th, live for pay-per-view. I need some kind of promo for that. I need some money because that was a really good plug.
I'm just saying,
I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. Though,
it's gonna be a great.
I really, honestly, since Mike Tyson, I have not really watched boxing. And I just remember as a kid, my dad like getting in fights, and they would be pissed because Mike Tyson will knock niggas out. Ooh, fuck it. It's my show. I can say nigga. Knock niggas out in the first round, bro.
True.
Like, when quarantine first started, they had like his first like 10 fights on ESPN. And like on one of them, it was like 30-minute segments. And I'm like watching, like, okay, let me watch the fight. And the first like 25 minutes, they're talking. I'm like, it's only on for another like 5-10 more minutes. Like, they played the fight, and I saw why they had to beat bullshit. The first 25 minutes.
Because the fight only lasts 5 minutes.
No, not 5 minutes. The first round, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
And Mike was boy.
Mike had that type of power, and he still does. He has knockout potential anytime he steps in the ring.
And that's why I think that it's not going to be close.
Anytime he steps in the ring, he could knock the man across from him out. I don't give a damn who he fight. He could fight Anthony Joshua tomorrow. It doesn't matter.
I don't even know who that is, bro. I don't even watch boxing no more.
What I'm saying is this. He could knock the man in front of him out. I'm not debating that. What I'm saying is this. Roy Jones Jr. is surgical defensively. He is a mastermind at making men miss. He don't telegraph his punches.
He better play good defense because if not,
it's going to be lights out for him. I agree. That's what we agree. We agree that Tyson has knockout potential almost all the time. I think
the storyline that I think I'm going to like the most, though, because if you think about both of them in their prime, Tyson was just about that action. Roy Jones Jr. was a lot of this. He was like real flamboyant.
But he was knocking people out, too.
He wasn't knocking everybody out, but he wasn't nice with
nobody can knock everybody out, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson ain't knock out Lennox Lewis. I'm just throwing, hey.
He was tired. You know how Mike Tyson talks.
I'm just saying, Roy Jones.
I'm definitely excited. I have not been excited to watch a fight since Pacquiao Mayweather, and that was kind of a disappointment.
Roy Jones has 47 knockouts.
Look at Mike Tyson.
This is his record: 65, 9 losses, 47 knockouts. He has 69 wins,
9 losses. Okay, let's go to Tyson. Fighting heavyweights.
But
you ever watched the movie Harlem Nights?
Yes.
Yeah, fucking with a heavyweight.
Hey, it is a different ball game, man. That's why I said if it is gonna, be very short and it's gonna be over soon.
I dropped it too.
Then I think that's how it's gonna happen. Is that Tyson is gonna catch Roy Jones slip, and then it's gonna be all right. Well, murder she wrote. All right, murder she wrote. That's what's gonna be. And unfortunately, I don't foresee that happening.
Did you say that because you have Bob Marley in your shirt? Did you get your West Indies vibes?
Hey, you know how I get out. That was my people's, all right?
Who are those pants by? This is completely off topic. It's off fire.
Hey,
Low-Tex?
If I told you I had to kill you, and I like you a lot, so no, I'm just playing. I'll give you the plug after this. All right. You can't have everybody still.
Dang, he's selfish. All right. Since I guess we're talking about versus, I haven't been into the whole Instagram versus musical battle thing because it's kind of, I don't know, I really don't care too much. But on Twitter the other day, they were talking about Breezy and Usher.
Right.
Which to me are arguably the two greatest R&B singers. After R. Kelly, I think it's them.
Right. I agree.
Breezy might, I don't want to say he's the best dancing singing dude, but he's like Usher, because Usher was that dude, bro. Usher has hits. But people see, like, everybody knows how much I love Rihanna. If the Rihanna thing didn't happen, I think Chris Brown will be in those conversations as like the greatest ever, bro. I think all the opportunities and stuff he missed out on because of that situation.
I can agree to an extent. Potential only goes so far.
No, it's not that, bro. He literally like lost it all.
He lost a lot, but
no, he lost it all.
But also when he came back from the Rihanna thing, his music wasn't any better.
He can never come back from that though.
I agree. He shouldn't have put his hands on that.
1,000%. He shouldn't. You don't put your hands on women.
Not in that extent. If you're gonna hit somebody, it gotta be like a
get away.
You getting out of there. You getting out of
there.
You getting out of there. You can't just be. No, I saw Rihanna's face. I'm like, this wasn't no getting out of jail. He attacked her. Yeah, he attacked her.
But so who do you have in that battle, Chris Brown or Usher?
I was talking to some folks, and after a lot of deliberating, I definitely have Usher. And I'm gonna say Usher like with a slight nod. It's not.
You know what? I appreciate the honesty in that because a lot of people make it seem like it's just like this landslide.
Oh no,
like Breezy first 2 albums, like
oh no, I would never be so naive to say that. But when you talk about Confessions, Chris Brown has never made anything like Confessions.
And I will give you that to me, and I will go and say this on camera. Confessions is the best R&B album ever. Better than anybody. Like R. Kelly, yeah, but
he did some. We can't. Yeah, we're not even gonna bring up we're not even gonna pub him on here. No, we can't even.
I might have to cut that out.
Yeah, we just gonna leave it there. We gonna leave it there.
Confessions is arguably the greatest R&B album of my lifetime, at least.
That is flawless
From start to finish.
I think it got about 19 songs. About 14 of them is bangers.
What's wrong with the other 5?
The other 5 is good, but they not bangers.
Bro, and then the crazy thing is he had like radio hits.
Yes.
Half those songs were radio hits.
Yes. I believe that at some point, like when Confessions was on the radio, like 10 songs were in the top 100.
It don't surprise me, bro.
Bro, it was a great album. I think when it dropped to, I had to be, man, I was a shorty, but I just...
We knew all the words the other day at work. This is really ironic. This is before they announced that, I don't know if the versus thing is happening on Instagram or not, but I listened to Confessions, then I listened to Chris Brown's first 2 albums. And I'm just like, no, I take that back. I listened to Usher's like first couple albums, and then I listened to Chris Brown's first couple. And it's just like, wow, dude, both of these guys were great.
Man.
Because Usher, I guess I can say this on camera because I'm 28 now. Usher's the reason why I got my first do-rag, my stocking cap.
Bro.
Because Usher had waves.
Bro.
You make me want to, when I tell you, I was in kindergarten, first grade, brushing my hair trying to get waves because Usher had them.
Usher had, and I will say that Usher's like his influence on the pop culture, like it's so unprecedented. It's so minimized. I think that people just brush over it. Usher is the reason for a lot of these young R&B artists.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Usher, it wouldn't be a Chris Brown.
I mean, to an extent, but if there's no Michael, there's no Usher.
Right.
You know, so everybody gets their influence from somebody. But man, I'm talking about Usher had
that was
hits.
A heavy shot, but I'm down with it.
Usher has hits. I think that if we go
hit for hit, Usher I think will win.
That's the thing. I think if we go hit for hit, first 20 songs, it's gonna be Usher. But Chris Brown got depth. Chris Brown probably doesn't have as many like great songs as Usher. But when you're talking about like if you go 20 to 40 songs, Usher might be in a little bit of a pickle because Chris Brown has so many features,
bro.
So much content.
I think about the features though.
The features is where I think he'll snap.
It'll edge the guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Features, Chris Brown.
I'm not gonna watch it on Instagram, but if it does happen, I'm definitely gonna,
I just want to see what they play. Like it's gonna be good vibes if it happens. Because it's like
Breezy. When I tell you popping,
yes,
that song to this day, if it come on, I almost got a speeding ticket.
Bro, I'm 27 years old. I still be singing about Young Love. Young Love, Young Love. Bro, I'm damn near 30. Talking about Young Love, because it's just so nostalgic, you feel me? I remember feeling that way about a shorty at 12, 13. You think this gonna last? That shit ain't gonna last. This is for all the young folks who think they love is gonna last. It's not. It is not. But that's a whole other story. Man.
So you rolling with Usher or Breezy?
I'm rolling with Usher. But like I said, it's a very slight edge. Because when you think about Chris Brown's features, like...
Who's a better dancer? I'm rolling with Breezy, bro.
Yes. I think choreograph, I think they're about neck and neck, like as far as like choreography. But Chris Brown...
I gotta cut you off, bro. Chris Brown was so cold that in the movie they had to kill him in the first 5 minutes.
Bro! Because there wasn't going to be no battles. It was no battles. Anybody who stepped up, it was over.
Bro,
like,
Chris Brown could do all the dances Usher can do, and he can like do the crump and stuff.
Bro, he can do everything. Chris Brown, like, is probably the best.
He's talented altogether because he can rap too. People don't know that.
He was solid. He's a solid actor.
Not like bars, but
he's a solid actor. He's a really great performer. I would give him that. His talent is like, it's crazy. It's through the roof. So I understand everybody being, up in arms about it. But don't, I won't say don't disrespect, but don't ever in your life sit up here and say that Chris Brown has more hits than Usher Raymond. U.S.
That's something
H-E-R-R-A. Come on, bro. That man has hits. Hits.
That's something that I think when I get a chance, I'm just gonna go down their discography and their song list and literally make a list.
That's what you gotta do.
That's the only way.
That's what you have to do. And like I said, about 20 hits, you're gonna be like, man, Usher.
But the thing is though, Usher had longevity.
Yeah.
Usher came out in what, 95, 96?
In the 90s.
In the 90s, and he still, what other songs he dude that had?
Let me pull some stuff up for you, because I know Usher has he has recent hits too.
Since we're using Google, somebody from Google need to give us something. Give me a free ad or something.
That's all we need. But that's my thing. Like Usher, he has.
There goes my baby. What's the last one that Usher got? He got a new song that all the old people like.
Don't waste my time.
No, it's another one.
It's another one.
Real freaky.
All the old freaks love Usher. That's the thing.
Look at Usher's last song. I don't know what my phone is. I can't think of it.
Love Usher.
It's something about dancing a stripper, tipping to her or something like that. I can't think, bro. Dang. Look, what's Usher's last hit song, bro?
Bro, it's a lot of them. I don't know which one.
Start naming off the titles.
These.
It's a song. When you see it, you look like, damn, my mama do like this song.
Shout out to Kim ass.
Because I know my mama and my dad. I'm like, what? Do y'all hear what he's saying?
They hear it. They like that. They be blaming. They swear up and down in the
bro. That's definitely a whole other topic. But they swear our music is just so bad and freaky.
Right.
They got a song called "Doing the Butt."
Right.
Doing a crybaby in the house party, doing a crybaby on the floor. They made juking music. Truth be told, with their house parties, that house music was freaky as hell. Talking about jacking your body.
You talking about? No, they didn't come through. Damn, man, I know the song you're talking about.
I cannot think of it.
That's why it's blowing me.
It's going in and out of my brain too. This is crazy. I'm getting old.
Shout out to the old and the old.
The old. What you think of the Jean Basil though? While you're looking, it's solid, right?
It's very smooth.
It's really smooth. It's perfect with the roses lime. I can't drink this straight. Definitely not. Like I said, I do not drink tequila, but this with the roses lime is a hit.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hit. I bet this will make really good margaritas too.
I had margaritas the other day. It was great.
This is my first time drinking that.
Damn, I still can't find this Usher song. It's gonna blow me.
But while you looking for that, anything else you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, I got some stuff I got off my chest.
Oh, okay.
I'm just fucking.
All right, I guess with that being said, everybody tune in to the next episode. Probably coming to you. I'll probably release this on a Sunday, probably on Sunday. So just be looking out for Cigars, Cocktails, and Conversations. Try to do every Sunday. People have busy schedules. I got a long list of guests, long list of topics. It's hella liquor and hella cigars to smoke. So catch you guys next time. Peace. Thank you for coming on the show, bro.
Always, bro.
Love. It's a pleasure.
Damn, bro. We got to find a song now. How I go again?
Fascinated with foreign felines since I was knee high. The cigar got me buzzing like a beehive.